So there was like this theme on my mission, where I would go, like I started in West Jordan, went to Draper, went back to West Jordan. I was in Riverton, went to Orem, went back to Riverton. But my first time in Riverton, it like knocked my entire mission out of the park. It was my favorite area, and it was actually my longest area that I served in. And I had one companion the whole time. We were together 3 transfers, and it it was the best area. And it's actually in the Orem mission. It's the area that I was in when I got transferred to the Orem mission. But the amount of work in that area is insane. The people are amazing there. It's actually where I'm trying to live now. I met my fiance there. That was pretty awesome. That's a different experience to have, as meeting the person you're going to marry on your mission. But there was one experience in particular in that area that really sticks out to me, and I'm grateful for that experience. There was a man we were teaching. He was from Cameroon, so another African, and he didn't believe in God. He used to be a different Christian denomination, but he decided that God didn't exist, that it didn't matter, and that if he was a good person, then he was a good person. He didn't need a book to tell him that. He didn't like the Bible at all. And he said he would read the Book of Mormon as long as it didn't mention the Bible. And when he said that, I was like, well, right in the introduction it says like it's comparable to the Bible. But we kept teaching him, even though every time we would try to commit him to baptism, every time we would try to get him to pray or anything like that, he would just laugh at us. And I always wondered why we kept teaching him. It would make me really frustrated whenever we would set up return appointments and the time would come for us to get over to the Word Mission Leader's house where we were teaching him. And I would just be like, why are we teaching this guy? Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be baptized. He doesn't believe in God, and he doesn't want to. Like, he's not progressing. And, like, I don't know why. Not that we're wasting our time, but I don't know why we're putting ourselves through this, I guess. And so there was this one time where I was particularly angry at the fact that we had to go teach this guy. And I sat there and I listened to him, and I listened to him rant on and on about what he ranted on and on about every time we taught him, about how, if God existed, why all this bad stuff is happening, why he lets bad things happen to good people, all that stuff. And mocking what we believe, basically mocking the Book of Mormon, mocking Joseph Smith, things like that. And I sat there and I prayed to myself in my heart. I was like, Heavenly Father, why are we doing this? And I didn't receive an answer right away, but he said something. I forget what it was, but he said something, and it really hit me, because I realized he was never going to change. He was never going to want the gospel, at least not right now. But the reason why I had to teach him was to show me that no matter what other people believe, my testimony is still the same. That I'm still able to testify of the truthfulness of the gospel, of Joseph Smith being a prophet, all those things. I'm still able to do that even if people are bashing it, even if people are making fun of it or laughing at me for testifying of it. And even though he moved and I don't know where he went, and he obviously never got baptized, I'm so grateful for him and for the opportunity I had to teach him, because I was able to have that spiritual experience that I had. And to my surprise, I got transferred, my last transfer, and got transferred back to Riverton, and I was a sister training leader my last transfer, and that was great. I was really glad that happened my last transfer, so I didn't have to do it anymore. I don't know if that's bad to say or not, but it was good to be back in Riverton. It was good to be back on my home turf, I guess. It was a different stake. I served in the Riverton South stake first, and then the second time I was in Riverton, I was over the Riverton stake. And my companion there was perfect. She was exactly what I needed my last transfer. And I don't know, it really brought into perspective what my mission was for me. That it didn't matter whether I was in Utah County or Salt Lake County, whether I was in Orem or Riverton, that the people were still the same and that everybody needed the gospel. And it was kind of a two-edged sword to get there my last transfer, because I knew I only had 6 weeks there. I knew I only had that time left, and that if I didn't do much, it didn't really matter, because no one was going to remember me from that stake. And it weighed on me a lot, because I didn't want to have that mindset, but it was the way it was. Your last transfer can be really hard, because you know it's coming. And it was awesome, because I didn't let that affect me. I still worked, and I still testified to people. And even though I only had 6 weeks there, I didn't get to know leadership that well. I didn't get to know the area that well like I did in other areas. The people I met there still touched my life in numerous ways, and I'm grateful for that.